Welcome back to part 3. I've had a cogitate and I've reached a decision. Now my model is two-sided, in other words it has to have an inside as well as an outside. Many models that isn't a problem, but this one I've got to have an inside. At the same time I've got to overcome the problem of the non-manifold edges. Now logic tells me that the only way I can do this successfully is to delete this, the inside section. But before I do that, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. So I'm going to move it forward a little bit, about there, doesn't matter, and I'm going to lock that form and hide it. Now what I'm going to do now is to delete the original wall here, this bit, and the frames there, those bits there, these bits, these bits. I shall be back in a trice. Okay, I've re-selected the wall and the internal window frames, and I am now going to delete them thus. And now the proof of the pudding, or pudding rather, will be in the eating. So we are assured that the non-manifold edges round the panes of glass have gone, but we're still left with these two here, oh, and there. So whilst we can get at the back of this, we'll have a little look and see what's going on. Ah, classic. If I rotate this, you can see the T section has been created. And we have another one there, both of which I should delete. Now this should be repeated over here because I use symmetry, and it has. I should delete those. Spin her around one last time. Here we are. And at last we have removed all non-manifold edges from the rear wall. Now to put the finishing touches, as it were, to the rear wall. Right, we'll open up this form again, so, and I shall reword it. As I do like everything labelled, otherwise I don't know where the hell I am. And what we're going to do is to move this wall back to almost its previous position. So, paste. Now I'm going to eyeball it, as it were, into position, because it's not quite right there. I just might need to move it forward a teeny weeny bit. A little bit more of an angle. I know it's a single polygon for the glass, but in reality glass is thicker than a polygon. So although they're not quite touching, from a distance it will represent the glass. Now of course the advantage of this to me now is that I can do further modelling work on the inside of this wall, which I have to do, but more importantly I can now extrude this frame into the room the desired amount without forming any non-manifold edges. In conclusion of this part, I'm going to address the problem of these edges across the top of the doorway. I've already taken care of the one on the step, but now we're going to look at these. Put it into transparent mode, and if I spin it at an angle and zoom in, you can immediately see what the fault is, our jolly old T-section. So what I'm going to do is to select that edge there and delete that edge, delete that edge, delete. Obviously you have to be a bit careful when you're doing this, in case you remove polygons that you shouldn't do, but in this case it's pretty straightforward. If I had a bit more room, then I will be selecting faces. But as I'm doing it from the outside, all I'm doing is selecting the face on the outside. So in this instance, where it's such a narrow cross-section, it's much easier to use edges to achieve the same result. In fact, it's a lot quicker, to be brutally honest. And one last one here. So track back, swing it round, select non-manifold edges, and as you can see it's now clear above the door way as well as at the foot of the doorway. So, in conclusion, this outlines the main methodology that I employed to remove the non-manifold edges from this model here. If you wish, you can bail out at the end of this section, but if you want to see me tackle this, and especially this bit here, then by all means stick with me and I'll see you in part 4. Thank you very much.